Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown. Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bakoven.
I've talked to a few cats. They said that Bach got some game, man.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, my God.
Not a good start.
I know, not a good start to the day. Welcome to the Captain Show, 93.7. I am the black shirt, Terrell Farley, and I'm with
Bach.
And it's just me and Bach today, Bach in the black shirt, man. That's why I was thinking, and I just had to say, man, it's all good, though. The captain's not in today. He got some stuff some business he need to handle. We talked a little bit earlier. I had to talk to him about a car, man. My car's, like we say, is going to the graveyard of cars.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Sad time.
Yeah, it's a sad time, man. My engine went out. I don't know, man. I was just driving and, I got an oil change like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And nothing bad, I guess. My engine light, not my engine light, but my oil light started blinking on and off. Just like tick, 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 and it stopped. Tick, 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 it stopped. So I took it down to A1 Automotives, who's enrolled with the ticket, who's Kendall Warlock on them. And I got a call yesterday and say, yeah, that big graveyard in the in the car industry will take your car. So, I talked to Vershawn this morning, and we talked about a vehicle that I kind of like. So I think I'm gonna try to purchase that probably about the 15th.
All right,
I had to give myself some time because my insurance starts back at 15th, so I can just switch it over. Not start back, but I can just have to pay it.
Yeah.
So I just switch it over.
Man, buying a car right now can be tough. I'll say that. I've had my own car problems the last year and a half or so, and it's kind of tough.
I knew I had a little oil leak, but I let it sit for like 3-4 months, and then I put it back on the road, and it rode good. It was a good car. It just had hit the 200,000 miles momentum, so I knew it was. It's not good when cars hit 200,000.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is. Bach, I'm here. So I'm a Uber king for the week and a half.
There you go.
not the Uber king, but my other half drops me off. But it's kind of a pain because we both work at the same hours. But I get dropped off and keep going. But it makes us stronger and better people, though.
There you go. You got a favorite car of all time that you've had?
I had an AMG. I had a 500 AMG Mercedes about 4 years ago. Good car, had AMG rims on it. It was sports, so it was a good fast car.
What happened to it?
Same. I got an accident and they totaled it out.
Went up to the car heaven. Huh?
Yeah, went up to the car heaven again. So, I'm just having. I don't know, Bach. It's gonna be all right. Let's talk Let's talk some sports. What we're here for. We're not in this.
You don't want to get sad about.
So I see that Nebraska's kind of targeting that wide receiver from the University of Texas. I don't know the kid's name, but did he play a lot? I didn't read up on him a bit yet, but.
So Nebraska's got a busy weekend here, but the player you're talking about is Isaiah Nair. He plans to visit Nebraska this weekend alongside Jamal Banks, the big-bodied wide receiver that we've talked about before from Wake Forest, and Oregon running back Dante Dowdell. So it is
big guy.
Yeah, it's a pretty big weekend as far as those are some big
Let's start
skill
off.
position players.
Let's start off with the running back. Do you have anything on him?
Not too much, except for
I can tell you he's 6'3", 215. I can tell you that because I did see that though.
Yeah, he's I know he's the top recruit last season. Didn't get much playing time or any playing time at Oregon this year. But that's fine. I mean, that's why I say sometimes, you think about these recruits and out of the transfer portal, and sometimes like Rashawn or Matt Rule even say, we need to get instant impact guys. That's the only reason to go to the transfer portal. But if you can get a top, 50 guy from the season before, top 100 guy, whatever he was from the season before, that maybe just didn't like his first year at college, it could still be a long-term thing. Maybe, at running back position, usually that's a position if you're, especially if you've had a year in the weight room and at college level, you can come in and play. So he particularly is interesting, especially for me to kind of think that they are targeting a running back. Of course, they've got a few different guys coming back that you feel pretty good about, but a little bit of injury history there. So maybe this is just kind of an insurance type of deal.
Well, first of all, you got to look at this guy's size. He's 6'3", Bach, and he's 215. He's the type of guy that you want to run inside. We don't have a guy that big. And we haven't had a running back that big in a long time. So, if we do get that guy, I expect him to come in and compete right away with Emmett Johnson for the top running back spot because, now you got a guy who's going to be available for spring ball, which we don't know the status of Gabe Urban or Ramir Johnson. Then with losing Eddie Lacy, that's kind of a priority right there because you don't want to go in there with 3 running backs. And then I know we still got the guy, what is his name? Quinn Nye? Is that the Quinn Nye? But we haven't seen him yet. So, we didn't see him for the first 4 games or 4 games that freshmen can play. So I'm thinking if we can get a guy this size, this big, and he can run and hit holes like we need running backs to hit holes, this could be a home run steal for us right here. And it also gives us depth. And this guy still has 4 years. So now you look at him, Ives, Johnson. Now you got a core of young guys that can really run the ball because we know what Emmett Johnson can do. We know that. We've seen that before. So, now we get a guy that, who got the big man size, who can be that 3rd and 1 down, who can be that 4th and inches guy that you need. In Nebraska, we do need things like that. I mean, we need that big guy like Lawrence Phillips type that can, or that what's his name that played for the Eagles? What's his name? I liked him.
Sean McCoy or
no. He played here.
Corral Buckhalter. Yeah.
Corral Buckhalter type guy. We need guys with size. We need to stop with the itty bitty running back committee, the guys who can't make it in the Big Ten because most of the time these guys are getting hurt. Not even in the Big Ten games, they're getting hurt in the Louisiana Tech games. They're getting hurt in the games like
this year. That was particularly the case.
You don't supposed to get hurt against guys like that, But we need to get stronger at that position. We need to get somebody who's going to solidify that. We need an every down back, a guy that can catch out the backfield. I'm sure this guy can, because especially going to Oregon and he did play, so it's not like he didn't play at all.
Yeah. He did play, so he did play more than 4 games. So he didn't redshirt this past year.
3. We'll take the 3 years.
Yeah, 17 carries, 90 yards, particularly most of that against Portland State in mop-up duty. 8 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. But did get register 3 carries against Arizona State, 2 against Cal and Colorado, and then 1 carry each against Stanford and Hawaii. And by the way, again, maybe I was overinflating his value there a little bit by saying he's a top 100 guy, more like top 200 guy coming out of high school, but a top 10 running back.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at where he went. He went to Oregon, so Oregon don't take just somebody who's nobody. I mean, everybody has to fit their offense, and their offense is a wide open scheme, a scheme that runs a fast tempo offense, something, probably can catch out the backfield good, something that we need for Dunner and Raiola, just throw the ball off so he don't have to take a sack and he can get it to the quick read. So, we need things like this, but we got to build this team back up, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, so he would be interesting, and maybe, I don't know, out of the 3, maybe the biggest get, I think, perhaps. The only other one that I think would maybe fight that is Jamal Banks, because Jamal Banks has put up some pretty good, like most proven player at the college level would definitely be Jamal Banks. Another big time, 6'3", type wide receiver from Wake Forest that will be visiting. I believe he's had, let me look up his stats to make sure so I don't misquote it, but he would be a big get and seemingly probably your would be the guess to be your top receiver going into the year. So that's what we're kind of looking at here with Jamal Banks. The past couple of years, he's had 59 receptions for 653 yards and 4 touchdowns this past year. In 2022, 42 receptions, 636 yards, and 9 touchdowns for the 6'4", 205-pound wide receiver Jamal Banks. Again, Nebraska's leading receiver had like 200 yards last year. So this would be a big get. And it's interesting the height that they're going after in these guys. Jamal Banks, again, 6'4". And then the latest to acknowledge that he is visiting this weekend is Isaiah Nair, the wide receiver, former Texas and Wyoming wide receiver. He transferred to Texas. He's been in the portal before, from Wyoming. And he himself is 6'3", 215. He had 878 yards and 12 touchdowns for Wyoming in 2021. Since then, things have not gone well. Transferred to Texas, had an injury in the preseason in 2022, held him out the entire year before this last season, just registering 1 catch for 14 yards. So, I mean, either way, I mean, he's had an 800-yard receiving, not in the Power 5 level, but at the Group of 5 level for Coach Craig Bull and Wyoming. Both these guys, you could at least say big-bodied and experienced.
Well, I'm going to go with the second guy because that's going to be a gamble for us because, like we said, that rule you get that you can't leave, but they did put stipulations on it. If it's overturned, then you pay for it. So you lose a year. So, that's one thing because he's transferring to his second school.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be a guy who's automatic eligible to play. So I put my thing with Banks because he's that big guy, 6'4", 205, Malachi Coleman type of guy, because I don't think that we as a Nebraska football team, we can't go in the spring giving Malachi and giving Jaden Doss just giving them the position. It has to be earned with some kind of competition. And I think having somebody in there that's very capable of taking over that needs to be here. I know we need to get 2 receivers here that can help this core out because you don't want a bunch of freshmen and sophomores barely playing, just being the group leaders.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially if, like you said, if you figure Dylan Iola will get the start, and maybe he doesn't, but if it's not, it's Heinrich Harburg who's kind of developing, maybe an outside shot from anybody else beyond that. But of course, it's not a big room. You've got Danny Dimes coming in, but again, either way, you're looking at probably a freshman starting or Heinrich Harburg. You need some of this skill position to blossom around it, and that's why. I mean, you look at these wide receivers. Either way, they're 1-year rentals. So it would be in this case like an immediate look to try to get a guy to play and to try to compete and get that time. Nebraska again has somewhat of a soft schedule to start next year, at least compared to the ending of the schedule. They do have Colorado coming to town. I think Colorado's going to be an improved team. We'll see. But it's going to be a ride, and hopefully, some of these guys can start to develop around Dylan Raiola, and a better quarterback can help your wide receivers look a little bit better. I can't wait to see, Lloyd and see how he kind of does with more of a passing oriented quarterback and just offense. But he struggled a little bit. I mean, he had the deep bombs we like to talk about, but he did struggle with some drops here and there as far as just some of his other routes. So a lot of development to be had and a lot of kind of question marks in this offense. Of course, the one thing that you do think about is the turnovers, and that was primarily from the quarterback position. So that at least should make you feel a little bit better, because as a blanket statement, this is a front offense that led the nation in turnovers. You're worried just kind of about all around, but that was mostly a quarterback problem.
Well, I'll take that 1-year rental, Bob, because I would rather have that 1-year rental instead of go with a couple of not trying to down these guys, but we need more experience. I don't want to have us going through the first 5 games where they can't get on the same page. He couldn't jump for it. He didn't leap for it. He didn't run the right route. So we need some guys in there older who can teach these guys because they got a young coach, man, and that scares me, and I'm not going to lie. And I'm not going to say I don't feel comfortable with it, but I'm scared because that position is what you're going to need because now you got Dylan Raiola who wants to air the ball out. And if you have a bunch of young guys who's not on the same page and don't know how to run them routes, then we're in trouble. We just got a good quarterback again.
Yeah, it's a long road ahead for this Nebraska offense. I think to get to where you would want it to be. The defense hopefully can pick up where they left off in this previous year. We talked a little bit about the linebacker position yesterday, which is maybe I would say probably your concern on defense. I think you feel pretty good about the back end, and of course the front is loaded. But the offensive line, I think you feel like should take another step forward. You get a lot of those guys coming back, and of course, Raiola back coaching for a 3rd year in a row, so you got some continuity there. It's those skill positions to fill around Dylan Raiola. Sorry, there's too many Raiolas, so I'm trying to get the first names there.
Dominique.
Yeah, I think that you feel okay about, right? It's just one of those things like the skill positions at Nebraska are okay. Not great, not bad, and you need somebody to step up. And of course, again, a better passing game can help that a long way. But to me, too, is that if you're going to go to more of a pass-oriented quarterback that doesn't have a whole lot of, doesn't give you a whole lot as far as RPOs, as far as like threats to run, you got to get the traditional ground game going, and that's why I think out of all these guys, despite not having as much college experience, Dowdell kind of pops out to me as kind of big, would be the biggest get of all of these guys. But I mean, you've got a pretty good argument for Banks. So we'll see. I mean, it's a busy weekend. It's good to see Nebraska out there active in the transfer portal. Of course, there's still over, I think, 9 scholarships right now.
Should man get them out.
So add a guy, and we'll have to find a way to get rid of a guy.
Well, I'm scared, Bach, because I can tell you what, I don't feel – I feel safe that we have 2 quarterbacks that we signed out of this class, and they're both freshmen, but – You have one that probably can come here and start, or you probably have 2 that can come here to start. But when you get to running back and receiver, your returning starter is going to be a guy who probably had, 291 yards rushing?
Yeah, not too much.
Then your leading receiver coming back is going to be what? A 5-catch guy? 6 catches, 10 catches? How many they had? You put them together, they won't be over 15.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Yeah, you got to wonder about that stuff. We don't know how ICG is going to come back from that torn ACL or whatever he had going on. So, it's still a look and think about it position, because I'm going to be looking all spring to see how this position, especially running back. So, we got a lot to work on. So, I know Coach Rule can do the right thing and get the right guys in here. Kind of proud of Coach Rule and the things he's done in his first year and a half here. He hasn't been here that long, but he's got the kids in the right direction. Now we can get them healthy and get them stronger. And I think this is what happened that first year. They never lift weights like this in 2 or 3 years under Scott Frost, and now that they got a real weight room setting going in there, that their body was tired. Their body was beat up, bruised up, practicing hard again. So, they got to get used to this type of football and the type of football that wins you games. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Nowhere to go but up in a lot of different ways for the Nebraska offense in the least. Hopefully a good weekend here as getting some of those recruits in on campus. Plenty more to talk about in the college football world. Of course, Nebraska basketball getting back to action. We've got some women's basketball to talk about.
Oh,
too.
Yeah. I got some. I want to talk about Michigan's schedule for next year, because
they
have the hardest schedule in the nation, I think, next year. Or I know it's in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
All right. It's Bach in the black shirt on this fabulous Wednesday. The Captain Show, 93.7. We'll be right back.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care. Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday, and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back with Vershawn Jackson. Powered by Bauer. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The fastest 2 hours in radio has begun. Barking the Black Shirt here on the Captain Show. We are powered by Bauer
Infrastructure.
Bauer
Underground.
Brent
Excavating.
Big shout out to Big Slim and the boys out there at Bauer Construction. Big Slim, you've been running for me for the last 3 months, and we're just going to give you a pass this year because I don't want to get out there and put you on your boom. So here we go. Let's talk about the girls' basketball. Bob, which one you want to start with first?
Well, there's a few interesting stories out of women's basketball. Let's start with Caitlin Clark. Step back three from the logo. For the reigning National Player of the Year, lifts Iowa over Michigan State. It was just an impressive shot, and the shot earned Clark her 10th 40-point game of her career, breaking a tie with former Missouri State guard Jackie Stiles for the most of any D1 player across the past 25 seasons. She's also reached 35 points in her fourth consecutive outing. And so that ties another player for the longest streak by a D1 player in the past 25 seasons. So she'll go looking to break that as well. The West Des Moines product and is expected to be the number one pick in the WNBA draft. Is within reach of breaking the all-time D1 scoring record later this year. This step back three was was a step back to the logo. So this was deep. Got the win, obviously, for Iowa. Who played in the championship game last year. I know we're not supposed to cheer for Iowa, but you kind of catch yourself wanting to get more of a look at Caitlin Clark. By the way, Nebraska will get a shot at her on the 27th of this month in Iowa City before they return to Nebraska, to Lincoln, here at Pinnacle Bank Arena on the 11th of February. So if you want to see a generational player in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark, and maybe plan that out for February when they come here.
Well, I guess I'm a hater because I don't want Iowa to win anything. I don't care about Iowa. I don't care about going across the water. I don't even go to Iowa. You know, the last time I've been to Iowa, probably 2-3 years ago. So I don't even go that far. If I go to Kansas City, I'm going the back way. So then, but
you try to go around.
I do read about this young lady. She's a fabulous player. I do expect her to be the number one player that picked in the winning WNBA. But there's also other great teams out there. South Carolina girls, who's number one? They're 12-0.
Oh, yeah.
UCLA girls, they never know they was that good. They're 12-0. North Carolina State University, they're 12-0, 13-0. Iowa's 13-1. Colorado, who beat Iowa early in the year. They're number 5 at 11-1. So and then you still have Baylor, LSU girls who's still up there at Stanford. This is a stacked basketball thing, and it goes all the way now to 10. Either you're undefeated or you lost one game. So this is going to be a very exciting year for women's basketball, especially with South Carolina back on their game because they fell off last year. They're the cream of the crop of basketball. But like I say, last year was LSU Iowa. We'll see how it go this year when we get down to the Sweet 16 or the selection show for the women's basketball.
How does it? Do you have if the rankings pull up? Is UConn still in there? They used to just run the sport. Now they
used to, and I give that to they're 10-3 and they're 12 because I think people have still some kind of respect for them because they're the only 3-loss team in the top 15 besides Utah, and they're 15, and the rest of them are 1-game loss. So, but like I said, other teams have stepped up. I mean, that's a good thing. I know we have South Carolina. They've been good for years. That's Dawn Staley. She's who she played for. I don't know if she played for Connecticut. She might have played, but she's a great WNBA former player, and it's a lot that the women's sport is doing for these women basketball. And you still have LSU, who has a great dressing coach who still has Reese there.
That's right.
She's back on the court. So, we have to just wait and see with this basketball, just like we got to do on the men's side.
Yeah. And on the women's side for Nebraska, by the way, they are 10-3. Alexis Markowski and Jazz Shelley leading the way there for the women Huskers. They've got Wisconsin. They go to Wisconsin, an 8 p.m. tip tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Then I know they're also doing a promotion to try to get everybody in the building to take on Indiana, who is number 14. And that particular game is on Sunday. So kind of be on the lookout for that. And again, if I'm a Nebraska basketball fan, women's basketball fan, I would circle the calendar for the 11th. It's probably going to be a tough ticket to get in there and see Nebraska take on Caitlin Clark. Again, February 11th, that will be the return trip for Iowa as they will play Nebraska before that as well. Not so good news we're talking about some of the top end of women's basketball. Well, now we can go to the bottom. And apologies to bringing them up, but Grambling women the other day beat the College of Biblical Studies, which sounds like something you would be making up. But that was a basketball team. They fielded. They beat them 159-18. This marked the biggest margin of victory in Division I women's basketball history. Of course, that margin would be 141 points. How did they get their team? And they did. I mean, they played pretty good from first half and second half. We saw Nebraska men's basketball with a blowout over South Carolina State. Trouble to do that. How do you get the team to be pumped and ready to go in the second half when you're up 82-10 at half?
Oh, you lock the doors, though. You don't even let them out. I wouldn't come out. I think that's the program you need to take away from that school. Because if you're going to get beat by Grambling State, women that bad, just imagine playing Iowa. Just imagine playing South Carolina.
Yeah.
Just imagine playing a D1 school that's really got girls. So, man, it's bad. I feel bad for the young women, but if they're getting scholarships, that's what they signed up for to play. I mean, even if it's an NIA, you still get to go to school. You still get to get your lesson, but I don't know. Maybe you need to, I don't know. That's bad.
Yeah, that's tough. Hopefully they've got some sort of paycheck from Grambling for playing that game.
Yeah, they need $2 million.
They committed 57 turnovers in the game. Shot around 18% from the floor, 8 of 43 from the field, which, considering you can't.
8 of 43?
8 of 43, yeah.
Ooh, what did they play at?
Let me double check. I looked it up earlier. But that's not good. You've ever been in a blowout of that capacity? Obviously, maybe on the winning side, or on the losing side.
Well, we beat a school. Well, we did beat Oklahoma like 77-20.
That's right.
If I ever got beat that bad, it probably had to be in Canada or probably in junior college when we played Garden City one time. I think we got beat like 40-7. But they had a great team, though, so I can't really. They had Corey Dillon. So,
oh yeah, well, that's
yeah, and he hurts. That's the only guy I probably hit, and I knew not to hit him again like I hit him, Bach, because he kind of rocked my shoulder.
Did he?
I felt pain.
You felt it.
Yeah, I felt it. That was the first time I ever felt hitting somebody real hard.
So the College of Biblical Studies plays their home games at Fallbrook Church in Houston. Is this just a church team? Maybe it's just a church league team. They are 0-7. They're averaging 36 points per game, and they've allowed 102 points per game through their first 7 matchups. Of course, this didn't help that. So maybe they're just going to have to. Maybe they're just building the program. I don't know.
Well, not a good way to start off, but hey, at least they getting pub.
Yeah, at least
the wrong kind of pub, but it's okay.
I'd never heard of the College of Biblical Studies, so now it's on the map a little bit. But of course, Nebraska basketball too, and we can talk about this later on the men's side. Has a matchup tonight against Indiana, a home game, and you want to protect home court. Of course, Indiana too coming in with their 2 leading scorers being members of the front court. So you wonder if Rink Mass is able to get back on the court, it will be huge. If not, then it might be a difficult night for Nebraska. Of course, facing the candy stripe pants over there from Indiana. Again, we could talk a little bit more about that as the show goes on, but we're up against the break.
All right, man, we are moving. And it's just Bach in the black shirt. The captain's not here today. It's us. We talking about the Bauer boys and Big Slim outside. We on O Street, 1040, the coffee house, the mill, Beatrice Bakery, 93.7 style. We'll be back.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Think you need a new furnace due to a cracked heat exchanger? Call Bryant for a free second opinion. Might save you thousands, no matter what brand. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Jeff Essink, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, we are back. Bach in the black shirt here, 93.7 The Ticket, the Captain Show. Bob, well, I got some good news for college football fans. Brock Bowers has declared for the NFL, most likely a top 10 pick.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody in the SEC is probably happy because he tortured them for 3 years. So, you know, big young man, former number 2. I guess he came out with Fedoni and Eric Gilbert. But this is one of the guys that we need a tight end like, but he dazzled people with his play ever since he was a true freshman. So, you know, and now he's moving on. So does that hurt Georgia or next guy up?
Well, it hurts him. I mean, Brock Bowers is, you know, with his resume, and it didn't quite finish with the championship that they wanted, I know, but had a little bit of injuries. You wonder if he was fully healthy this season. Maybe they would have beat Alabama. You could tell he wasn't fully healthy for even that game. Him and Ladd McConkey, I believe, both kind of rushed themselves back. McConkey also, by the way, going to the NFL. So it kind of is what it is. I mean, I think you had to expect this from Brock Bowers because, like you said, he's due for a big payday. Not that he probably wasn't making a little bit of good money down there in Athens, but one of the best tight ends we've ever seen. So it's incredible to see the career that he's had, the success that he had early on, and winning back-to-back championships. And so now we'll kind of see where he goes to the next level. Also, Xavier Worthy, wide receiver from Texas, declared for the NFL draft. So that's kind of interesting. You see some of these teams that played the bowl games in the last couple of days now making that decision. Players, by the way, have until January 15th to declare for the NFL draft. So we'll still probably see a few decisions being made coming soon. By the way, also wanted to mention this, and you pointed this out in a text this morning. Feldarius Payne also declaring for the NFL draft. Former Husker, ended up transferring to Virginia Tech and appeared in 13 games this past year for the Hokies. Had 4 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 31 tackles. And you wonder, I mean, it's been a while, but you wonder what he would have, how he would have factored in for this front line for Nebraska as well had he stayed. But you figure this is probably a good ending for him. I don't know. I was trying to look it up because these guys do this now where they're seniors. They don't have any eligibility left, and they'll still declare for the NFL draft and go, well, you didn't have really a choice.
Dear Nebraska, it was fun. 4 years. I'm out. Yeah, we know you're gone. You don't have any eligibility left.
I'm not sure if Payne had any eligibility. It's so hard to track these days because it says he's a senior. But there's guys playing like 6 years, so you never really know. But I don't know if he had any choice in the matter, but he will at least give it a shot in the NFL. So good luck to Feldarius Payne. Actually, friend of the ticket. He's been on these airwaves before.
Yeah, I got the top 10 players. I think I don't think Marvin Harrison declared yet, but this is a Fun to Beat You report. It says that number 1 ranked. I'm just going to rank the top 10. Ranked number 1, Marvin Harrison. It's out of grade, 9.7. Tight end Brock Bauer. He's the number 2 prospect. Drake May, North Carolina quarterback. Caleb Williams. Penn State. I can't say that guy's name. What's his name?
Olu Fashanu?
Yeah, there we go right there. Him right there. He's number 5. Joe Out, Notre Dame. Malik Nabbers, wide receiver from LSU, who put up numbers like Justin Jefferson did. Them guys put up some numbers that they put up Joe Barrow and Jefferson and Chase numbers this year.
Yeah, and that's helped their quarterback win the Heisman, obviously. Yeah. But he's got another guy on the team. I was just trying to look it up because I forget blanking on his name right now. That led the nation in touchdown receptions. Yeah,
and I hate to say this, but just going by the Heisman winner, I still think Michael Penix should have won the Heisman, and he proved that. Did you see how many yards he threw for? Almost 390. He threw for 398 yards.
Yeah, and beating Oregon twice. That was the one thing that kind of, and I get it. Daniels had otherworldly numbers, and if you're just going off numbers, then you'd give it to Daniels. But he didn't have a victory this year over a top 25 team. So you talk about like kind of a lack of a Heisman moment. I guess they did beat Missouri 49-39, and that ended up being a pretty big victory. But the other ranked teams they faced, they lost to Missouri, to Ole Miss, Florida State, and Alabama. Their 3 losses. Something to kind of consider. I think there was an opening. Usually, if you go out there and kind of take it in conference championship play, and I don't know if Penix had that look that he had this past game, in the championship game, in the Pac-12 game, then maybe he would have got it, but he never really kind of just had that Heisman moment, I guess, until the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, because Penix threw for 430 yards, the 4th best passing game in college football history. That's throwing. And I always say maybe it should be after season because I think Tommy got robbed. Yeah. He got robbed for the Heisman and everything else. I just think it should be after the season, after every game is played and everything's done with. Then I think people should vote for the Heisman. I think the rules should be changed. But Gene Chizik, who used to be the head coach of Auburn, he's out as defensive coordinator at North Carolina.
That's right.
Mac Brown had to let him go. Gene Chizik.
Mutually parted ways is what they're saying.
Well, that means you take your money and we don't want to see you again.
That's pretty mutual. Huh?
Yeah, get out of my door.
Yeah.
Which door you want me to go through? What time you want me out?
Well, and you mentioned their defense had been making a little bit of strides, North Carolina, but their offense has been good. Drake May, you mentioned at the top. So maybe just looking to get a little bit more out of that. Speaking of which as well, there's another former head coach on the move. Kansas State is going to hire former Texas Tech head coach Matt Wells, likely to be their offensive coordinator. Of course, they've lost Coach Klein, who's moving on to Texas A&M as their offensive coordinator. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see former coaches get in the mix. And then one other note that I wanted to make in college football is that Minnesota quarterback Ethan Kaliak-Manis is transferring to Rutgers following his offensive coordinator out there. So A lot of movement. It's college football. Every day there's something going on. Cali man is kind of a disappointing season, I think, this year in Minnesota without Mo Ibrahim. They still went to the bowl game with a 5-7 record, but we're able to get the win there, so it makes you feel a little bit better. But yeah, that's interesting because when just kind of getting ready for that Minnesota game, I know the season didn't play out the way they wanted it to, but there are some Minnesota fans that were excited about his arm, excited about his upside, and maybe it was the new offense this year or whatever. It didn't quite blend, didn't quite look so well. We'll see what they can do at Rutgers, which is a rising program.
Now, we talked about this earlier in the show, that we wanted to go over one schedule. And this probably is the hardest schedule in the Big Ten, I think, that someone can draw. Probably in the nation if we looked at it for next year. But I'm going to take a look at this Michigan schedule. And it caught my eye the other day. And I was like, whoa. And if Nebraska had, I don't think Nebraska can survive to a schedule like they're going to have. But
yeah,
we're going to start off with the first one. The first one they're going to start off with Fresno State.
Yeah.
Winnable game.
Yeah.
Very winnable. And then they play Texas.
Yeah. Either way, they're going to have a
Arkansas
State
game. So they play Arkansas State third. Now, here's the thing right here. Fourth, USC. Fifth, Minnesota. 6, Washington. 7, Illinois. 8, Michigan State. 9, Oregon. 10, Indiana, Northwestern, and Ohio State. That's a tough road for Michigan.
It's a tough road.
Especially when we don't know what's going to go on with Jim Harbaugh, or even if we don't know if he's going to stay or go. So, I think if they win, he goes. I don't know because he hasn't signed a contract yet. At least we don't know that. But, I think if they win, he just say, hey, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Or he might say he's a Michigan man. So you never know with him because he plays the role of the bad guy anyway. So
I mean, he's had NFL interest for years, and he does a good job of turning that into more money for Michigan. And that's what they're looking to do again. Obviously Michigan is hitting their stride. You wonder, I wonder, if JJ McCarthy comes out, obviously you're losing Blake Corum. Maybe it would be naturally just kind of a time to go but I mean, it just depends. What's his goal? Does he have still, he coached in the Super Bowl. Does he still have that kind of lingering feeling that he wants to get that back? Or, does he want to cross more things off his list? Or does he want to continue to keep Michigan where they are? Once again, we kind of talk about Michigan like they're a powerhouse because they're the number one. They've won more games than anybody else in college football history. But other than that split 97 title, the last title they had was 1948. So it's not a place that's used to being in these conversations in the national championship. He's gotten them there. And as you mentioned, that's a tough schedule. Texas, Washington, both those teams are in the play-in game for the championship. Obviously, that Washington game will be a rematch. Oregon, a top 10 team. Ohio State, obviously, year in and year out, going to be a difficult team. We'll talk about them in a little bit as well. USC. The name is there, and we'll kind of see what they're able to do. Lincoln Riley's, he's still going to be there.
Well, I think Michigan's a big name because you got to see how constant, how much. Well, how much I'm trying to say, they're always there.
Yeah,
they've
been in the conversation.
especially the last 3 years, they've been there consistently. So they're not getting it with the best players in the nation. They go to Ohio State, steal a couple players out of their state. Then they might steal a couple out of transfer, Ernest Hausman, so on. But the thing is, they beat Ohio State for the last 3 years, and they lost to TCU last year in the semifinals, but they made it this year. And they beat a good Alabama team that beat Georgia. So that lets me know that his program is a top tier program, and kids would love to go there, especially with the Michael Jordan signing with the blue Jordan man. So,
sure.
If I was him, I would stay put and just keep building that momentum for Michigan and building his name because, he's getting a little too old. You don't want to be that old coaching. He's 60-something years old?
I have to look it up where he's at. But probably around there,
once you hit the 60, you got to leave the NFL to the young guys. That's what I think.
Yeah, he is 60 years old.
Yeah, you got to leave that. That NFL is for the young guys, man. Sean McVay, all the young guys. Antonio Pierce, I wish he can get that Oakland job because he came out in the black Air Force Ones the other day, all black. So, and just like I'm saying, I think college NFL is for more of a, like, the older kind of, the younger kind of coaches who's up and coming. Like, you probably going to see a lot of coaching changes come up at the end of this year.
Yeah, we'll see. And that's the other thing is certainly, like, if your job stability is going to be better at Michigan than if he takes over for, Chicago or somewhere.
He might not make it in Chicago.
Yeah, you get 3 years.
And then you have the former Big Ten president who's at Chicago, isn't he? So he probably doesn't like you. So now you have to fight with him every weekend and week out. And you don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Justin Fields. Everybody keeps saying, what are they going to do with Justin Fields? Is it Justin Fields' fault or is it the Bears' fault? That's what I want to know. You want to talk about that coming up after the break,
Yeah,
Bob?
we can do a little bit of that.
Yeah, take us out, Bob.
All right, you're listening to the Captain here on 93.7 The Ticket. I am Jake Bachman. I am with long time. Well, not long time. I'm the long time ticket host, I suppose. I am with the All-American and national champion Terrell Farley, which obviously those accomplishments are a lot more important. All right, we'll talk more college football, pro football, Husker football coming up next year.
Everything football.
Football.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog and freezing fog this morning. Then partly sunny skies will be expected for the afternoon. Afternoon high should be around 37. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies. We'll see a low around 21. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will stick around. Afternoon high should be around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown. Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bakovic.
I've talked to a few cats. They said that Bach got some game, man.
Coming at you live from the Coppell Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Well, I wish I had the captain here because you're no good. Thank you, Bob. You scared me. You scared me. Sound like a pirate. Welcome to the Captain Show. This is 93.7. I'm the black shirt Terrell Farley and I'm with Buck. And welcome to this Wednesday, gracious day on O Street, 1040. The Mill Coffee House. Come get you some of the Mill apple cider. Come get you some regular Joe. Come get you some of that other stuff that we like, the frozen coffee. We got it all. We got Beatrice Bakery in here. Come get you some of that grandma's fruit cake. And we got the ticket. Come see Bach, the black shirt, DP, Rico, Nick, anytime you want to, just stop by. And not the captain here today, but hey, come see us, come talk to us. We'll shake hands. We'll take pictures. O Street, 1040. Bach. Oh, Brian Kelly. So he's getting rid of everybody on the defensive side, even the defensive coordinator. Just read that from On 3 right there, Bob. What you think about that?
Well, there's a lot of moves being made in coaching today, as we've already kind of brought up. But yeah, I mean, this was an LSU offense. We were talking about earlier that Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. I mean, they were winning games 49-45, those type of scores. And so, I mean, it's crazy how LSU, to me, at times, and this happened with Bo Pelini's return there. Obviously, they didn't get it going there. At times, I mean, just the level of athlete that they're able to get on the defensive side of the ball, and yet still struggle as much as they have. Didn't expect it from Brian Kelly's group. So we're gonna see what he has to do, a plan to come in there and make some changes. But I think that's what they needed to do after this season.
Yeah, they was bad on defense, great on offense, like I said. But they lost 4 games, but they ended up winning their bowl game, and I think who they played in the bowl game.
They barely beat out Wisconsin, so they only lost 3 games this year.
Yeah, that's good. But in other news, and like you said, there's a lot of stuff going around with coaches being a thing. And I had a conversation with Mickey Joseph the other day, and he was like, "Man, he's like, Miami called me and they wanted me." I said, "Well, it's too late for them, Mickey. They should have got you when they had the chance." And like I told him, this is a chance for you to get your head coaching experience. What a lot of people were saying that, hey, he needs head coaching experience. I don't care if it's at a D2, D3. If you can get a guy that can come in from South Dakota State or North Dakota and go to Northwestern and win 8 games, then you can come from Grambling and you can do it too. It's just a different level of football. I mean, you're still a coach. You still know what you're looking for. You still got what it takes. But, it's just a lot of stuff that happens in college football. And like I say, it's going to be a lot more changes coming up. And there's going to be a lot more players hopping in that portal. Probably not now, because I think the portal's over with to join in, ain't it?
It is like officially you can't jump in, but there's still like if somebody's filling out their paperwork, we could hear about it in the next couple of days. But yeah, officially you can't join.
Well, I think it's kind of unfair because, what about the players that's on the national championship team? Do they get a period where
they do get an extension period.
Yeah. So, even the teams that just played this weekend, would they get an extension period, or the teams that played a week ago. So you never know. There's still going to be a lot of players in there. And, there's a lot of things going on. I see DJ Ugalaga signed with Florida State.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Oh, I don't know. Florida State's in limbo right now.
They are a little bit, and it was kind of weird because their coach Mike Norvell, his speech to them in the post game of that Georgia game is kind of going viral, which is kind of weird. I didn't really expect that, but I mean, that just a shame of a situation that played out at Florida State. But I still think, obviously coming off a 13-0 season, they've got a lot of guys going through the pros, but that's a pretty good landing spot in my mind for DJ Uiagalelei. And they will, I believe, host Clemson this upcoming year. So at least he doesn't have to go there. But makes for some interesting storylines in the ACC. And I mean, the field expands next year. So if they play as well this year, obviously they won't be left out. But I'm interested to see. I mean, they could be a 2-3 loss team next year. Some of those teams are going to be fighting each other for those final at-large bids. Kind of see how all that plays out. By the way, Will Howard is one of the guys that's still out there, transfer from Kansas State. He's being linked now to Ohio State. They're apparently going to host Will Howard on an official visit. And of course, that coming off of Devin Brown's terrible performance. Now, he did get hurt early in that game, but couldn't get anything going for Ohio State against Missouri, to the point I was wondering if Tristan Gebbia was going to get in there at the end, but didn't happen. But it's very interesting. And there's something else I wanted to bring up about Ohio State that I thought was worth talking about here. So Ohio State starting center Carson Hinsman went on a podcast, the B&B podcast, before the bowl game. I think this was the 20th of December. And this podcast was quickly deleted. They did not like what he said, apparently. Hinsman claimed that the Buckeyes had far fewer practices ahead of the Cotton Bowl than they did for their bowl prep last year, and instead replaced them with light workouts. So he kind of gave an insight into what Ohio State was doing and looking forward to this game. He also alleged that Miami Hurricanes offered former Ohio State commits Justin Scott and Jordan Lyle a massive amounts of money to flip their commitment, and claimed that Ohio State doesn't really pay guys a whole lot in forms of NIL payment, claiming that offensive linemen in particular don't get paid at Ohio State. Hinzman also compared the current culture of the program under Ryan Day to the culture under Urban Meyer, saying that Meyer's practices and workouts were much more difficult and asked a lot more out of their players physically. And so Hinzman, even though he started 12 regular season games for the Buckeyes, he was kind of one of the weak spots on their offensive line. Did not play a single snap in the Cotton Bowl after this talk. They moved some guys around. Ryan Day said that the game that they planned to move, the move actually for Hinzman not playing was due to his recent struggles in practice and not because of anything else. But Ohio State's offensive line struggled more against Missouri than they did probably all year. So you kind of wonder, I think Hinzman probably was a little slap on the hand here for saying what he did. What do you make of these comments? There's kind of a lot again to kind of go through there. But obviously the comparisons to Urban Meyer's program, you hear that a lot more physicality. You'll see like the pregame, Ryan Day kind of has more of a loose program, whereas Urban Meyer was more, closer to military, I suppose, kind of entering those games. Is that why Ryan Day is losing to Michigan?
I don't know. I mean, Ohio State is Ohio State, but a team rule is you never go on air, or you never spill the beans about your team. So first of all, this player was wrong. I mean, I know there's going to be some in-house punishment if he's a senior or not. We don't know that. I don't know if he is. What is he?
Yeah, I can look it up. I don't know what year.
But you broke a team code. You went and talked about your guys. You went and talked about practice. You went and did something that's never, that shouldn't be talked about, especially on camera. So, you first of all, you disrespected your team, and now you got to deal with your teammates looking at you sideways. But, it's not good for Ohio State. It's not good for Ryan Day. I mean, maybe he needs to toughen these guys up. I mean, his offense has been good, but, now you got to figure out who's going to be the quarterback, because they look terrible last against Missouri. The Brown guy, I don't know. Al Nolan's coming in. This is a kid, probably the 5th, 6th ranked quarterback, but he's probably the number 1 dual threat quarterback. But he's from Georgia. He's a Georgia kid, but he's got a big arm and he can run. So we'll see how that pans out in Ohio State as we get closer to spring ball.
Well, and we haven't been able to talk about it. I mean, there's so many bowl games and stuff, but that one really was a clunker and very frustrating. Obviously, for Missouri, it was the biggest win. I mean, their 11-win season.
3-0 at halftime, though, was it?
Yeah, it was definitely a defensive battle. Ohio State rarely, I don't even know if they got into Missouri territory, at least, a snap in the red zone or anything like that. It was that bad. And then usually, Missouri, you got to give them credit again. 11-win team. They wanted to be there. Like, this was going to be a crowning achievement for them to beat Ohio State, and it was. But Ohio State, you kind of wrestle with, well, one, did they want to be there? But the other part of it is Ohio State traditionally has been able just to roll their helmet out on the field, even if it is the backups. They've had games before where the backups aren't playing, and the backups have to play. That's where Jackson Smith and Jigba kind of made his name a couple years ago in the Rose Bowl, because the starters weren't playing. And you just kind of think at Ohio State, they've got 4 and 5-star guys. They don't really go below that, the high end 3 stars if it is. And you just kind of think of them as having so much depth. They also had, it's not completely like nobody played. Emeka Egbuka, one of the best receivers in the nation, was out on the field. Travion Henderson, one of the best running backs in the nation, was out there. So it's not like they were completely void of any talent playing in that game. So I think you just kind of got to question what happened there. Is Ryan Day now 56-8 overall at Ohio State, 39-3 in the conference. Those 3 losses, of course, all coming to Michigan in the last 3 years. And you just wonder, despite 11-2 record in the last couple of years, if, we talk about it coming into this year, we'll talk about it going into the next year, does he have to beat Michigan? You can't, at some point, you can't lose 4 or 5 in a row. At some point, they're going to expect more, because, the record's good, but this is Ohio State. They feel like they should be the best team in the country. They were maybe a field goal away from winning the national championship last year, so it may be overreactionary, but it looks like, at least to me, and this is from the outside, where the defense took a massive step under Jim Knowles this past year, but the offense taking a step back this season. it just doesn't feel quite as powerful as obviously the Urban Meyer days or the Jim Tressel days.
Well, the good thing about this situation is that now you got a 12-team playoff. And we all know that Ohio State will always be in the top 6. So, even, they'll be in the top 10 this year at the end of the year. But, with the 12-team playoff, does it make it exciting for football or is it just another long process? But Ohio State, they do need to beat Michigan to get back on top of that Big Ten status. And Michigan runs that right now. And also, I want to read this thing that J.J. McCarthy said. This is going back. He's talking about a lot of stuff right here. So J.J. McCarthy, is Michigan quarterback, J.J. McCarthy said he believes 80% of teams steal signs accuses Ohio State. He said, I don't want to say a crazy number, but I say a good number, 80% of teams in college football steal signs. It's just a thing about football. It's been around for years. We actually had to adapt because of 2020 and 2019, and when Ohio State was stealing our signs, which is legal, we had to get it. We had to get it up to another level they were at, and we have made it. I don't know, to make it an even playing field. That sounds crazy.
Well, and I think the sign stealing in game, that's why you do those board. People are throwing up pictures of I don't know, different Simpsons characters, whatever they have. That's a little outdated. I don't know what what the modern day thing is. Your latest celebrities. In any case, a lot of that's a decoy, and it is sign stealing. In a game, I think the major thing is scouting it, going, sending guys to different games, taping sidelines, that sort of thing is where the Michigan thing kind of stepped up. But it wasn't so much prevalent in your day. I mean, you guys didn't have as much sign stealing necessarily because there was more huddle. I mean, this is kind of more of the no huddle signs from the sideline type of situation. Did you ever have any sign stealing, or is that part of the game, is kind of trying to pick up on their signals type of deal?
No, we just want to line up and beat you up. That's it. I mean, we don't have to do that back in the 90s because we did a lot of, we let our talking do it on the field. So I know Coach McBride, he wasn't into that. We just line up and we played physical football. And by the time the second quarter, we'll wear you out. And we had enough great athletes that we could do a lot of things with our defense. So I don't think we ever thought about that. We just lined up and played football.
Yeah, and Michigan has stated that they basically, this whole thing, I don't want to say Michigan, I don't know who said it exactly, but the reports from their camp is that they've felt like other Big Ten teams were doing it, so they did it, and they just probably amped it up to the next level. But it's interesting, that whole backdrop, that problem, and we know how long it takes the NCAA to kind of get through this stuff. The Big Ten's already punished Michigan for that with the 3-game suspension. Is that doing anything? Is that going to taint Michigan's victory if they do win a national championship, do you think? Or is it kind of whatever? It's part of the story, but it is what it is. Michigan clearly is one of the best teams in the nation.
Well, I think it would hurt them. But, like I said, I thought it was over with. I thought they was done with it. I think the NCAA closed the book on it. But, the Big Ten still, missed 6 games. I mean, what more do you want? I don't think it.
Well, 3 of those were for a different violation.
Well, you got to look at the point. When you play the teams like Washington, did they do it against Washington? No. I mean, do they do it against Alabama? No, they beat them head up. I mean, do they do it against Washington? No, I don't think they do. I mean, you can't take the games in the playoffs away. You can't. I mean, every team they beat this year, I think they physically beat them. They didn't beat them by cheating. They beat them by, having better players than other teams. So I just think a lot of people are making, it's just making a big noise out of nothing. I mean, I know it's illegal, and like you say, everybody probably does it.
Yeah.
They just haven't been caught yet.
That's right.
Woo! Take us out, Bob.
All right, you listen to the captain here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll hear from Vershawn tomorrow, but it's myself and Terrell Farley in the booth with you. We'll be right back here on the captain on 93.7 The
Ticket. Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy new year. They are thankful for many things from 2023 and hope that 2024 brings prosperity for you and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ooh, time is flying. The fastest 2 hours in radio. The Black Shirt, Terrell Farley. I'm with
Buck.
Jake Bachman. We're here. We're at the studio, 1040 O Street. What you got to talk about, Bach? I know we just been flapping and flapping and flapping.
Well, I did want to ask you. I think the college football obviously was great, the college football playoffs, and that reflected in the TV numbers. The semifinals, specifically Michigan and Alabama, had 27.2 million viewers, the best semi since year one, which the first year of the college football playoff in 2014 had the best viewership of all time. 18.4 million watched Washington and Texas. First of all, I guess you're on a different time than other people, but that Washington Texas game went a little late. I think that was the only complaint for some people, is that they had to stay up pretty late. But maybe they get a bigger viewership than that. The other question that come out of this is that a lot of people just loved the Rose Bowl telecast, loved the fact that the semifinal was there. It's kind of the epicenter of college football to a degree, I think you would say. The Rose Bowl, you could argue. And Kirk Herbstreit has now argued that the Rose Bowl should be the permanent national title game. Would you be in favor of that?
He's an Ohio State guy. Who cares what he says? He's a crybaby anyway. No, I mean, you should rotate it like you should do any other bowl game. Make it the Fiesta Bowl one year, the Sugar Bowl one year, the Peach Bowl. They does it with that. That's a semifinal matchup right there. But, you know, if it has to be played in Atlanta, you got to share the wealth. You just can't give it all to one stadium and think everybody wants to fly to California in January, which they probably do. But you have the inside domes too that can do the Louisiana Dome, the Georgia Dome. You also have the Orange Bowl Stadium down there that's open. But you know, you got to share the wealth with everybody else, the people that can't get out that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would be in favor of it. I don't mind. I do feel like the Rose Bowl, as you know, holds that special place in college football. And the only problem is that as these bowls rotate and who wants to play in bowls and whatnot, I mean, you kind of, my wife was asking like, okay, because it was a big deal. It's like, who won the Rose Bowl last year? You know, and I was like, well, that didn't matter as much. It was, you know, Tulane did beat USC, but that's not as important. So, you know, as they rotate, some of these bowls get the short end of the stick. And I think we saw that with, you know, maybe the Fiesta Bowl this year with Oregon and Liberty, you know, so, but like you said, it's kind of a share the wealth type of thing. You wonder, you know, in the powers of college football, how much, you know, they continue to want to work together to be that New Year's Six and all that sort of thing. I wouldn't mind the Rose Bowl being the permanent championship game, but there would also be some things they'd have to work through because, typically they'd want to do, you know, the Parade of Roses, all that stuff. That's a January 1st type of thing. So if you wanted to make the national championship game, you'd have to return for what, the 10th or something. So it would just be kind of weird. I don't know if you'd play 2 Rose Bowls. But anyways, that's an idea that's been thrown out there. Of course, I don't know if you also stayed up late enough to see what can happen if you are doing the Sugar Bowl and you happen to be on what is it, Main Street out there?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see what happened?
Oh, that's in Louisiana.
Yeah, in Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
There were some beads being tossed around during the broadcast. If if you get my flow. So ESPN had to come out and apologize because there was a bead incident on their website.
Hey,
So
they can't
you got to
help
be
it.
careful out there.
Well, I mean, I know it's not their fault. I mean, it's just the way people think and what they do. I mean, they'll do anything to get on TV. So, hey, show some bead. All right.
Well, I don't know if the girl wasn't even looking at the camera. I don't know if she was looking at. She was just trying to get some beads like you normally do in Louisiana. There.
Well,
in New Orleans.
Yeah, but we have that here too. Also, on game day here. I mean, I heard somebody came by and flashed the station. Didn't have no beads, but hey, some people like to do it. I don't know. So
whatever, people having fun. But as a cameraman, you got to be looking out for that. So they
there's no dump button on TV.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. Another bit of interesting news now jumping to the NFL is that Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper on Tuesday was fined $300,000 by the NFL for what was called unacceptable conduct by the NFL. While they lost 26-0 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tepper was caught on video throwing a drink in the direction of Jaguars fans from his open air suite in Jacksonville's Everbank Stadium. $300,000. That's a
slap on the wrist.
It's a slap on the wrist, but it is. I mean, it's a lot for one drink throw. But if you compare it to his net worth, he's the second richest owner in the league with a net worth of $20.6 billion.
Yeah, we should have fined him $1 billion.
So he won't notice. He
won't notice it. Yeah, I think he's wrong for dumping stuff out of his press box and onto another team. I'm glad he was caught.
Yeah,
which was caught on film. So good for him.
Yeah, and not good. Obviously, the Panthers are the butt of all jokes in the NFL right now. You kind of wonder. I mean, what if they would have stuck with Matt Rule for would they be in as bad a situation? Things were heading the right way. He's talked before about how he would have probably approached it differently. He thought he had more time, but Carolina's going to be tough. Obviously, their pick going over to the Bears. It's a bit of a long road up for Bryce Young in Carolina. Bryce Young, who's struggled in his first year as a rookie. Certainly interesting there. Also in the NFL, Jets are waiving running back Dalvin Cook with just one game remaining. This is, something mutually parting ways because Dalvin Cook wants to try to maybe get a spot on a playoff team. He's been one of the more, he had the injury, so you maybe saw this coming, but one of the more disappointing. It's easy to forget. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers went over to the Jets. That blew up on them in game one. But Dalvin Cook was also expected to kind of boost their offense a little bit. After 4 straight 1,000-plus yard seasons with the Vikings, Cook has rushed for just 214 yards and no touchdowns this year with the Jets.
Yeah, that's going to hurt his money a lot. I mean, when you try to follow Aaron Rodgers and things don't go right, and he's one of those great backs that, that had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And then that guy can catch out the backfield.
Yeah.
But, that's the type of thing that Aaron Rodgers wanted with him. Now you give him the opportunity to do a Sue. Now you can sign and play for anybody. His body's probably perfect. Ain't took that much of a beating. Didn't play the last game. Set out that game. And, I just feel bad for him, just to leave that one team after 4 years, not being forced out, but wanted to get more money and now look at things for him.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds you too sometimes the shelf life of running backs and how quickly things can be taken away from them. And I kind of think about that same thing with cornerbacks, or you see it. This is kind of a very very weird comparison, but also like all NBA defensive teams. It's the same thing in quarterback. Like you lose a step as a cornerback and you might be out of the league. Like because that's that type of speed that they're playing at that level. Running backs obviously have the short shelf life. Similar thing can kind of happen there. But that happens a lot of times with like the best defensive players in basketball, is they just hit a certain age. It happens like Kobe and Jordan, like where you're getting all these defensive teams and then all of a sudden it drops off. You're still a pretty good defender, one of the better defenders, but you just don't quite have that elite speed that you did when you're a little bit younger. So we'll see with Dalvin Cook. I guess I don't expect a turnaround necessarily, but maybe you see if he gets one more shot or gets a shot to play in the playoffs, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see.
Also, of course, coming up tonight, Nebraska taking on Indiana in college basketball. 8 p.m. tip, so you're going to have to stay up a little late. That to make way for BTN. Look out for the RMK patch on the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team, Hoosiers, excuse me. That's for Bob Knight, of course, who passed away November 1st. So they're going to be wearing that all year long. You got any favorite Indiana Hoosiers of past, college or football?
Well, I used to watch that. You ever watch that basketball show? I mean, not show, but it was a movie with Gene.
Gene Hickman.
Gene Hickman.
Yeah,
Was it Hoosiers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that movie, and I kind of like
You like
you
that
know,
one?
those type of movies make me cry. You know, like I watch a lot of movies, and I get sad at the end, just like with the big guy, Michael Orr.
Yeah.
That movie, and then the other kid from Arkansas.
Blindside.
Then the Arkansas kid movie they had on Netflix right there. And oh man, I can't watch those kind of movies. They make me cry at the end, and I feel like a wimp, you know, just watching them. So it's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Now I gotta
it's
watch.
good to cry every once.
Yeah, it's all right. But now I'm watching The Equalizer now. Now
that
I'm
one
gonna
won't make
get
you cry
the
too much,
Equalizer
right? Yeah.
3. It's on Netflix. So I watched a little bit of that this morning, but I'm gonna go back and watch that one. And that's probably gonna be my go to sleep movie.
Are you like sports movies though?
I
have a tough time. Like I like watching real
some.
sports. Yeah.
It depends. It depends. I think the last one I seen, which one recently did I see? Was it? Ooh, I'm trying to think. Just go ahead. I can't think of
like
it right now, but
some of the ones that are based off like true stories, you know, that I think those are okay, but it's hard for me to fictionally get into sports stories.
Well, I watched the Jesse Owens story. I watched a lot of the Jackie Robinson. I still try to watch All American, but I'm so lost on that show. Man, there's a lot of things that it's just I don't know.
There's off the text lines 5704 texting. It's okay, Terrell. I cried during Free Willy.
Free Willy. Oh my God. I watched John Wick the other day too. That John Wick that guy. That's a gruesome movie, by the way.
The latest one I didn't like as much because where that scene where he has to go up all those stairs.
Yeah.
Like it's just a little unbelievable. Like all the best assassins in the world just wait their turn as as he makes it up the stairs. They don't all attack him at once. So I have a little bit of a plot problem with the latest one. But John Wick's always fun.
Yeah, I love them kind of movies. I like that one. And then this one with Denzel Washington and not what it's called
the Equalizer.
The Equalizer. He plays a good role. I remember the Equalizer when I was little.
Oh, really?
And that guy who used to do the Equalizer show, he was real good. You know, I used to see, you don't know, back in the days, we used to watch Fantasy Island. We'll watch Giggling Island.
Oh,
you didn't watch all that, the Monsters, Andy Griffin. It just didn't 227. It's a lot of shows, Bach, that you the Sanford and Son, that you Good Times that we just grew up watching. Oh, fire truck going honk honk. So, it's just a lot. I like TV.
Yeah,
because I can play my game for 30 minutes, and I was like, I don't want to play right now. I want to watch a movie. So I just turn the TV off and get into Netflix or even Tubi. Yeah. But Tubi had the worst shows ever. But whoever directed that, they have no budget.
Yeah, there's a lot of low budget films on Tubi. That's for sure. But a lot of kind of fun to go through. It's got some different. David Fullerton says Brian's songs makes me cry. Horns Down says the Kurt Warner movie was good. I haven't checked that one out. It's kind of funny. I usually tear up. I think it was the first Ted, the little teddy bear that talks.
Oh, Ted. I love Ted. I love that movie.
When in that movie, it looks like Ted is going to pass away, I suppose, as a bear at Fenway Park. That always makes me tear up. Just the thought of it.
You know, one of my great movies I seen the other day, but you ever seen Swing Blade?
What's that one again?
With Billy Bob Thornton.
I don't think I have.
When he plays like a little kind of disabled guy, but oh man, you got to watch that movie right there. That's a good movie.
That'll make you cry?
I don't reckon so. I like mustard on my fries. Sling Blade, you got to watch it.
I think you're right. I have seen a clip of that. I know what you're talking about now.
You got to watch an early Leonardo DiCaprio when he plays in What's Eating Gilbert Grapes.
I haven't seen that.
You got to check that one out. He's young. He's probably 18, 20. Well, who knows? The text line will know.
Yeah.
All right. This is 1040 O Street, the Captain Show. Bach, the black shirt. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer, you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Bach, welcome back. The last segment of the Captain Show, powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Brent. Excavating. Shout out to Big Slim and the guys out there for Bauer Construction out there working hard on this gorgeous Wednesday on O Street, 1040. Bach, it looks like referee Brad Allen and his crew, who last worked Saturday night game between the Cowboys and Lions, will be assigned to Saturday Steelers-Raven games on ESPN. So back on national TV. Does this hurt the NFL or does it? I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna say this: does it make the NFL look bad after a blooper like they did? Because obviously it probably was their mistake. That they get another chance to redeem themselves, because I know some referees get demoted too for things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising to see that they, after that much of a public outcry, I suppose, or at least again, whether you want to say who's at fault, because they had two offensive linemen trying to report. Taylor Decker obviously caught the pass. They said they could only count one of those guys in there. So that's kind of what they had to take away. I would probably try to get the attention off them a little bit. I might not put them on such a public showing, but at the same time, it's a chance for redemption maybe. But you're not going to see, you're not going to feel that from the fan bases. They're going to start to have their own kind of feelings about it. But hasn't been a great year for NFL officiating. So hopefully they can clean it up.
Let me read some of these quotes right here after this. NFL is a joke. Someone's going to get screwed. Nice punishment by the NFL. Why is Brad Allen just not fired? This seems like a total lack of accountability in the performance-based profession. Somebody said, who's ready to see another rigged game? So, there's a lot of stuff. What an absolute joke. Brad Primetime Allen. That's what they call him. So, I think the refs are taking a lot of heat. And it eventually cost them the game. So, probably they could have won that game, and the Lions would have been what, 12-4, 12-3?
Changed the playoff picture a little
bit. I mean, they was probably going to be the leading team for the AFC in the playoff picture. Now they're probably like 1 or 2 games behind. But, I'm not going to say everybody makes mistakes, but, especially when you're in the NFL, you don't make mistakes like that.
Yeah, and it's just because there's video of it again. You have kind of different accounts of what happened, but it looked like Decker checked in, but again, if they're going to limit it to just one offensive lineman being able to do it. There's a bit of an uproar, obviously from the Lions fan base, but it is what it is. Every sport kind of has the officiating. You're going to have, they do make human errors. They're not going to be able to get every call right, but especially one like that where you can go back on the tape and seemingly look like he checked in. It makes you start to wonder what's kind of going on there.
Hey, did you watch the Michigan game Saturday or Monday?
The football game?
Yeah. Did Ernest
Alabama?
Hausman play a lot? Did he? I didn't. I wasn't trying to look. I was just.
Yeah. I guess I didn't notice necessarily if anything from Hausman.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to double check.
Well, I know they had that 6-year linebacker, so maybe next year be his chance, but we'll see.
Yeah. A few responses off the text line. Cupsker says it hurts me as a Steeler fan, so he's not looking forward to that. Nate in Dorchester says Leo was 19 in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Great movie. Great movie.
Again, you can text us anytime, 402-464-5685 on the Sartor Heyman text line. 3201 says Opie, Andy Griffith was a classic.
It was.
And,
it was. It was supper time when that movie came on. I think it came on like 6:00. So it was time to either get in the house or either time to eat.
Did you have how many channels did you guys have back then?
Well, we had cable.
Oh, okay.
Well, at first I started off probably from like, I don't know, probably from 5 to 9 had probably just basic TV. Then then cable came.
Oh, yeah, because I always hear stories of people saying there were like 3 channels, and maybe that's somebody a little bit older than you. But
that's for Sean with the project talk. So
okay, yeah.
Even people in the projects had cable, so it doesn't matter where you stay at. It's just as long as you.
Well, it just made me wonder too. I mean, because I don't know. I watched Andy Griffith a little bit. My father really enjoyed it, but I don't know. I didn't know it would be a big hit.
So I get this off Twitter right here, off X. Husker guy says Tom Osborne retired at 60. Nick Saban is 72 and won 4 titles after his 60th birthday. He said, I think about that every day. Yeah, I did ask Coach Osborne, did you think you retired a little too early?
Yeah.
And he kind of did. He knew it, and I guess once it was time, once he knew it, he couldn't really force anybody out, But I would like to see him coach Wade another 10 years.
Yeah, I certainly would have been interested to see if what he would have been able to do with the Eric Crouch years. And, obviously they would have recruited a little bit differently, but they were still getting some pretty good commitments or some pretty good talent on campus, of course, in the Frank Solich days. So you wonder what that would have looked like. How much further could the option have been prolonged? How much would it change? Tom's talked about that in the past, how, there's kind of elements of the spread that kind of took over college football that maybe he would have embraced. But it's kind of interesting too, watching the Day by Day documentary, the second one. As I said before, knowing the story and everything, the twists and the turns. So it's not quite as impactful as somebody that didn't know the story. So you kind of look for the little things that you maybe didn't know about that story to learn from. And one thing that kind of caught my ear a little bit is that how much those years did kind of weigh on Tom Osborne. The Lawrence Phillips decision, all that stuff. You could, people were saying you could kind of see him aging through those years rather quickly. But he also had promised to Frank Solich that he would give up the year going into the 97 season, I believe, going into 96. And
how long was Frank? How long was Frank head coach for him? Like what was it about?
It was 98 to 2003.
Yeah. So Coach Osborne could have coached them 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just sad thing that how Harvey, Pellman, Steve, what's his name, that they keep blaming all the time. Hey.
Yeah, Steve Peterson.
Yeah, football don't last long. I mean, Georgia, they wasn't that good for 30 years, and they came back. They found the right coach who learned how to get the in-state players and still, because I can tell you what, Georgia football is high school football is real dominating down there.
Mm-hmm.
And they got 5 4-star players everywhere. But, like I said, it may take Nebraska a couple more years because we got a young team, and, hopefully it don't take too many years.
Yeah, hopefully finally, Nebraska's been searching for that stability at coach for quite some time now, and hopefully they've kind of landed on their guy in Matt Rule, who's, like we've said, you have to be impressed with his talking about winning the offseason and landing Dylan Raiola and some of this class that they've got coming in. Seems like brighter days ahead for Nebraska, but They got a long ways to go too in certain parts of the team.
All right. It's the end of the day. Bach, it was nice rolling with you today.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have the captain in tomorrow. This is the Captain Show, 93.7, The Ticket.
It'll never be the same. It'll never be the same.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior